a belt that was wrongfully taken from him, and he can't box. He moves like this. This is how he boxes. Box like a mummy.
George stood there, facing the man mocking him. It turned out that the man was Ali, the former boxing champion. As Ali continued to mock and provoke, George just smirked disdainfully, turned around, and walked away. People in the industry began to rally behind George. After all, George was in his prime, and in just 1 year, he had won an Olympic gold medal. A newcomer to boxing, George defeated Frazier, who had over 200 victories. In the match, George knocked Frazier down 6 times, eventually KOing him in the second round to win. In the following months, George went on to create a legendary 36-win streak, shaking the entire boxing world. Frazier, who had taken the title from Ali, was now defeated by George, and now Ali wanted to reclaim the championship from George. Everyone thought Ali stood no chance, that he might not even survive 3 rounds. The fight began. Ali tested George's strength and reactions, but he couldn't land a blow past George's defense. Ali then cleverly maneuvered George toward the ropes, using their spring back to deflect George's attacks. Before George knew it, his stamina had been worn down, while Ali still seemed fresh. The match ended without much surprise. George lost. He was desperate for a rematch with Ali, but Ali dismissed his challenge with a scoff. This only sent George into a deeper slump. With encouragement from his mother, George finally pulled himself together, gathering the courage to step back into the ring. But once again, he lost to a much weaker opponent. This defeat crushed his confidence entirely. For the first time in 28 years, George was lost. Uncertain about his future, driven by anger for so long, he had always relied on his fist to solve everything. Now, he wanted to change all that. So, George disbanded the boxing team that had been with him for years, entrusting his remaining assets to a trusted friend skilled in finance. From then on, George became a devout preacher, spending his time in the church, working on himself. 7 years passed. The once devilish champion had turned into a middle-aged man with a bit of a belly. But fate wasn't done with George yet. His close friend moved all of George's assets into high-risk stocks, and even took on debt in George's name. In one night, George lost all his wealth, and was burdened with heavy debts. With mounting pressure from his financial struggles and life's hardships, George had no choice but to dig out the old training gear once again.